This video is to demonstrate how to work with parts within a pattern, moving them around and nesting them in order to have the most efficient use of your material. Once you're logged into your account, you'll want to locate a pattern by doing a part search on the left side of the screen, looking up your vehicle using the drop-down menus. Once you've selected a vehicle, all of the patterns for that vehicle will be populated in the center of the screen. Once you've located the part you would like to cut, you can open the part by clicking on the part number. With the part on the screen, you'll see oftentimes more than one part within a pattern. These parts could be cut separately or all as one. If we wanted to group these together, we could highlight them by putting a box around them. They're all highlighted in red, which means they've been selected. At the bottom, you'll see the actual size of the selected parts. In this case, it's showing a width of over 34 inches, which means we would need a roll at least that wide in order to cut these parts. If you're happy with the way the parts are laid out, you can simply send those to the production manager and plot them the way they are. If you would like to move parts around so that you can cut them separately or fit them onto a smaller roll, you can do that as well. I will click off the patterns and you'll notice nothing is selected now. If I wanted to move some parts to a different area, I can simply click on the part. Once it's highlighted, I can click and hold the left mouse button and drag it to another part of the screen. I'll click off the pattern again so that everything has been deselected, and select another part perhaps that I would like to move and cut with this part. I'll select the one at the bottom, click and hold and drag to that area. I can manually nest these together as closely as possible to get them to fit. And now I could put a box around both of these to highlight them both. And now my height is about 12 inches, so I could cut that on a smaller roll. Now we could also allow the software to nest the parts for us if we wanted to use a smaller roll. So I'm going to undo my selection by clicking the undo buttons in the upper right, which puts everything back to the way it was originally configured. Now in order to nest these so that they fit on a smaller roll, I will highlight all of the parts, grouping them with a box. And again, my width measurement is over 34 inches. But maybe I'd like to cut this on a 30-inch roll. Well, the nesting option will allow me to do that and allow the software to configure it in the best way to accomplish that. So under nesting, we'll click Start Nesting. Under nesting settings, we'll want to choose the width of the material. So I already have 30-inch material entered. And we'll scroll down and we have the option to select the nesting type. Optimized nesting is the most efficient way. And once we've selected that, the software will choose the very best possible option for locating these parts on a smaller piece of material. Once optimized nesting's been chosen, we can select Next, and the software will begin the process of choosing the best combination of parts. You can watch the progress bar, and it actually runs several scenarios to determine the best options. And when it does that, you will see what it decided because it's relocated the parts on the screen. So you can see this was the most efficient use of material, and you can now close the nesting option. With the parts laid out, we can now highlight those parts and select them for cutting. And in this case, it separated the two parts so that now the height is, or width is, only 8.21 inches. So we could cut that on a much smaller roll. The main part, if we highlight and select, is now under 30 inches, which will also work for the roll that we've selected. If that's acceptable, we can now go to the Plot Selected button, which opens up the Production Manager. Now you'll see a preview of the part you've selected to cut, and again it'll give you your width measurement just to verify it will fit on the roll that you've entered into your plotter. The plotter configuration should read appropriately here for the plotter you want to send the cut to. If all of this checks out, you can now simply click the Plot button and send it to your plotter. We hope this helps you better understand how to work with and move parts around within a pattern and to nest them.